Prince William loved it. Gave Prince George a bit. England edging.
This week, young Prince George stole the show during a heartwarming family outing with his mom, Kate Middleton, and siblings. At just 8 years old, George showcased his playful side, making s'mores with the Princess of Wales and bonding with Prince Louis and Princess Charlotte at a special community event. While the world has always admired George's grace and charm as the future King of England, what happened next truly surprised everyone. Join us as we reveal the unforgettable moment that cemented Prince George's potential as a leader and left royal watchers in awe of his growing legacy. Would you like to emphasize any specific event further? The rise of a young leader, Prince George's unforgettable speech. At a monumental event that brought together influential figures from across the globe, diplomats, activists, philanthropists, and thought leaders, a young royal stepped into the spotlight in a way that left the audience captivated. At just 11 years old, Prince George delivered a speech so powerful and poignant that it not only drew a standing ovation but also marked a pivotal moment in his journey as a future leader of the British monarchy. This was not merely a ceremonial appearance, it was a defining instance of leadership that showcased his burgeoning potential and maturity far beyond his years. A stage set for greatness. The event was hosted in a historic venue nestled in the heart of London, a location synonymous with the monarchy's deep-rooted traditions and its evolving role in a modern world. The air was charged with anticipation as the gathering commenced. Esteemed attendees exchanged thoughts on global challenges such as climate change, social inequality, mental health, and the urgent need for compassionate leadership. Among the seasoned diplomats and activists sat a boy, an unexpected addition to the speakers list, and yet his presence felt profoundly significant. As the evening unfolded, it became clear that this was no ordinary occasion. The presence of Prince George, a child known more for his playful antics during public family outings, was emblematic of the royal family's intention to nurture a new era of leadership. The podium stood in the center of the stage, illuminated by a warm spotlight, with the royal crest proudly displayed in the background. When George approached, his confident demeanor hinted at the momentousness of what was to come. Soccer groomed for leadership, a glimpse into George's upbringing. From the day of his birth, Prince George Alexander Louis of Cambridge has been at the heart of public fascination. As the firstborn child of Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, George has carried the immense weight of royal expectations with an enviable poise. His upbringing has been a careful balance between preserving his childhood innocence and preparing him for his inevitable role as king. While the world sees snapshots of his life, family outings, royal engagements, and mischievous moments captured on camera, George's parents have been meticulously crafting a foundation for his future. From introducing him to global issues to encouraging his curiosity about the world, William and Kate have made it their mission to instill in George a deep understanding of the responsibilities he will one day shoulder. His attendance at this landmark event, his first solo engagement of such magnitude, was a reflection of their confidence in his readiness to embrace these duties. Watch the speech that captured hearts. When George stepped up to the podium, the audience fell silent. Despite his tender age, he exuded a natural charisma that commanded attention. His speech began with a heartfelt acknowledgement of the pressing global issues at hand. He spoke passionately about climate change, highlighting the urgent need for action and innovation. "Our planet," he said, "is not just our home, but a shared legacy we must protect for future generations." His words resonated deeply, not because of his royal status, but because of the sincerity and conviction with which he spoke. George then transitioned to the importance of unity and compassion in addressing the world's challenges. He emphasized the need for leaders to inspire hope and foster collaboration. His insights were not just reflective of his education, but of an intrinsic understanding of leadership that belied his years. His speech concluded with actionable solutions and a rallying call to the audience to work together to create a better future. The influence of legacy. As George spoke, many in the audience couldn't help but draw comparisons to his late grandmother, Princess Diana, and his father, Prince William. Diana was known for her extraordinary ability to connect with people from all walks of life, breaking down barriers with her warmth and empathy. Similarly, Prince William has championed causes that address pressing societal issues, earning respect as a modern royal who prioritizes action over tradition. George's speech echoed the compassion and wisdom of his predecessors, suggesting that he, too, possesses the unique ability to connect deeply with others. The standing ovation he received was not merely a response to his eloquence, but a recognition of his potential to lead with authenticity and heart. A turning point for the monarchy. This moment marked a significant turning point for the British monarchy. For centuries, the institution has been a symbol of tradition and continuity. However, the demands of a rapidly changing world have necessitated a shift towards a more modern and inclusive approach to leadership. George's appearance at the event and the impact of his words was a testament to this evolution. The royal family has been increasingly focused on addressing global challenges and engaging with younger generations. George's upbringing reflects this shift, with his parents prioritizing education on issues such as environmental conservation, social justice, and mental health. By encouraging George to explore these topics, they are preparing him to lead with empathy and a forward-thinking perspective. Here, the road ahead. As the world reflects on Prince George's remarkable speech, it's clear that he is not just a symbol of the monarchy's future, but an active participant in shaping it. His ability to address complex global issues with such poise and thoughtfulness underscores his readiness to embrace the responsibilities that lie ahead. This moment is just the beginning of what promises to be an extraordinary journey for the young royal. As he continues to navigate his unique path, balancing tradition with modernity, Prince George is already proving to be a leader who embodies the values of compassion, inclusivity, and vision. A historic evening of anticipation. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation as distinguished guests filled the grand hall of a historic London venue. The event, which brought together diplomats, activists, philanthropists, and thought leaders from around the globe, was already proving to be a memorable evening. Each speaker who took the stage delivered compelling messages about the world's most pressing issues, ranging from climate change to global inequality. Yet, as the evening progressed, an undeniable sense of excitement rippled through the audience. The cause? The promise of a speech from none other than 11-year-old Prince George. Speculation was rife among the attendees. What would the young prince speak about? Would he touch upon environmental issues, a cause championed by his father, Prince William, and grandfather, King Charles? Or would he share a fresh perspective reflective of his generation? The whispers grew until they hushed entirely as his name was announced. Cameras clicked and phones were raised, capturing the moment as Prince George, dressed in a perfectly tailored navy suit, ascended the stage with a quiet but palpable confidence. A young leader takes the stage. As George approached the podium, his poise and calm demeanor immediately struck the audience. He paused for a brief moment, scanning the room with a steady gaze that belied his age. Despite the murmurs of curiosity and skepticism about what he could bring to such a distinguished gathering, it became clear within seconds that this was no ordinary speech. The crowd, comprised of seasoned leaders and thinkers, fell into a hushed silence, captivated by the presence of the young royal. A speech that resonated. Prince George began by acknowledging the significance of the evening and the collective efforts of those in attendance. Tonight, we are gathered not just as leaders and thinkers, but as individuals who care deeply about the future of our world, he said, his voice steady and clear. His composed and heartfelt tone immediately drew the audience in. What followed was a speech that transcended expectations, tackling themes of unity, responsibility, and hope for the future. Addressing climate change. The central theme of George's speech was climate change, a subject he approached with sincerity and urgency. Drawing on lessons from his family's long-standing environmental advocacy, he said, "I've learned from my parents and my grandfather how important it is to care for our planet. But this isn't just about our future. It's about the actions we take right now." His words were grounded in genuine understanding, and his delivery showed a maturity beyond his years. One particularly memorable moment came when he shared a personal anecdote about planting a tree with his siblings, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. I was thinking about how small it was, he recalled with a smile, and I couldn't help but wonder how long it would take for it to grow. But my father told me that every significant change begins with a small step, and that's why it's so important to take action now, no matter how small the effort may seem. A call for unity and compassion. Prince George didn't shy away from heavier topics either. He spoke about the need for unity and compassion in a world increasingly marked by division and uncertainty. The world feels like it's growing apart in so many ways, he said solemnly. But we all live in the same house, have the same dreams, and need to look out for one another to make the world a more compassionate place. I hope my generation can help bring people together. Highlighting mental health. In addition to environmental issues, George addressed the importance of mental health, a cause close to the hearts of his parents. Being strong doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it isn't, he said. It's about asking for help, supporting each other, and being there for the people who matter to us. His empathetic approach resonated deeply with the audience, many of whom were moved by his ability to speak with such clarity and compassion. A standing ovation. By the time Prince George reached the end of his speech, the audience was completely captivated. His closing words, "We can't wait for tomorrow to make the world better. We need to begin today because every single action, no matter how small, has the potential to create a ripple of hope that can change everything," were met with thunderous applause. The standing ovation lasted several minutes, with attendees rising to their feet to honor the young speaker. Among those in the crowd, Prince William and Princess Catherine beamed with pride, while King Charles and Queen Camilla exchanged emotional glances. It was a moment not just of personal triumph for George, but of hope for the future of the monarchy and the nation. A ripple effect. Across the globe. The impact of George's speech extended far beyond the event itself. Within hours, clips of his address began circulating on social media, igniting conversations and drawing praise from across the globe. Hashtags like #PrinceGeorgeSpeech and #OurFutureKing trended on platforms like Twitter, with users marveling at his wisdom and composure. One Twitter user remarked, "He's only 11 years old, but he speaks like a seasoned leader," while another wrote, "If this is the kind of leadership the future holds, I feel hopeful for the next generation." Many parents shared stories of how their children were inspired by George's words, with one 10-year-old reportedly saying, "If Prince George can plant a tree to help the planet, then so can I." Media and public reactions. Major news outlets quickly picked up on the story, running headlines like, "Prince George shines as the future of the monarchy," and "The young royal who stole the show." Pundits and commentators dissected the speech, noting its carefully chosen themes and the poised delivery. Many drew comparisons between George's calm composure and his father, Prince William, while others highlighted the emotional connection he made with the audience, reminiscent of his late grandmother, Princess Diana. Even critics of the monarchy acknowledged the significance of the moment, praising George for his authenticity and the positive shift he represented for the institution. His willingness to speak openly about contemporary issues signaled a monarchy more in tune with modern concerns. A legacy in the making. The evening marked a defining moment in Prince George's journey, not just as a future king, but as a young leader in his own right. It was a testament to the careful guidance of his parents, who have balanced giving him a normal childhood with preparing him for the responsibilities that come with his role. Through his words, Prince George illustrated that true leadership transcends age and experience. His ability to connect with people, address pressing issues, and inspire action offered a glimpse into a future where empathy and vision take center stage. It was a moment that would not only be remembered for years to come, but would also serve as a beacon of hope in an era of uncertainty and division. Leadership beyond power. The poise and vision of Prince George. Prince George's recent speech captivated audiences worldwide, not just for its polished delivery, but for the profound message it conveyed. The young royal's address transcended age and status, emphasizing that true leadership is not about authority or power. Instead, it is rooted in empathy, vision, and the ability to inspire collective action. At just 11 years old, George demonstrated a depth of understanding and maturity that is rare even among seasoned leaders. offering a glimpse into the potential future of the British monarchy. The foundations of leadership, a royal upbringing. Much of George's confidence and composure can be attributed to his upbringing under the guidance of Prince William and Princess Catherine. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have carefully balanced preparing their eldest son for his future role as king, while ensuring he experiences a childhood filled with normalcy and fun. From attending local schools to participating in family activities like gardening and sports, George's upbringing reflects a modern royal family striving to stay connected to the public. This balance was evident in his speech, which seamlessly blended formal rhetoric with personal anecdotes. His story about planting a tree with his siblings, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, was a touching example of how small actions can contribute to significant change. "I was thinking about how small it was," George recalled with a smile, "and I couldn't help but wonder how long it would take for it to grow. But my father told me that every significant change begins with a small step." This anecdote not only highlighted his understanding of environmental issues, but also showcased the values instilled in him by his family: patience, responsibility, and a commitment to stewardship. Empathy and vision, hallmarks of leadership. The young prince's speech was a masterclass in leadership, emphasizing the importance of empathy and connection. His words resonated deeply because they came from a place of sincerity and understanding. George's emphasis on mental health, a cause championed by his parents, underscored his awareness of contemporary challenges. "Being strong doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it isn't," he said. "It's about asking for help, supporting each other, and being there for the people who matter to us." This message struck a chord in a world increasingly focused on mental well-being. George's ability to address such a significant issue with clarity and compassion showed a maturity beyond his years. It also highlighted the evolving nature of the monarchy, which has begun to embrace its role as a platform for advocacy and change. A call to action, urgency, and optimism. Another critical takeaway from George's speech was his emphasis on immediate action to address pressing global issues. His call for urgency, balanced with optimism, was a clear example of how great leaders inspire hope rather than incite fear. "We can't wait for tomorrow to make the world better," he declared. "We need to begin today because every single action, no matter how small, has the potential to create a ripple of hope that can change everything." This call to action resonated with the audience, drawing a standing ovation and sparking conversations worldwide. Social media platforms buzzed with hashtags like "Our Prince George speech" and "Our Future King," with users praising his composure and wisdom. Parents shared stories of how their children were inspired to take small but meaningful steps to help the environment, proving that George's message had a tangible impact beyond the walls of the event. The ripple effect, inspiring a generation. The young prince's speech wasn't just a personal triumph, it was a beacon of hope for a world grappling with division and uncertainty. By addressing climate change, mental health, and unity, George demonstrated that leadership is about understanding the challenges others face and using one's platform to make a difference. His speech highlighted the cumulative effect of small, thoughtful actions, urging people to consider how their own efforts could contribute to meaningful change. This message was particularly impactful for younger generations. Schools and youth organizations began incorporating parts of his speech into discussions about leadership and social responsibility. One parent shared how their 10-year-old child said, "If Prince George can plant a tree to help the planet, then so can I." Such moments underscored the profound influence George's words had on inspiring collective action. Bridging tradition and modernity. A new vision for the monarchy. Prince George's speech also symbolized a shift in the monarchy's role in modern society. Historically, the monarchy has been a symbol of continuity and tradition. However, George's address reflected a forward-looking vision that balances these traditions with contemporary relevance. By speaking on issues like climate change and mental health, he signaled a monarchy that is more empathetic, accessible, and in tune with the concerns of the modern world. This evolution is a testament to the values of his family. King Charles' lifelong advocacy for environmental causes and Prince William's focus on mental health have clearly influenced George. Yet, George's ability to articulate these issues with such authenticity and passion shows that he is not merely echoing his family's legacy, but actively shaping his own path as a leader. The path forward. Leadership rooted in purpose. As George's speech concluded, the standing ovation he received was not just a moment of celebration, but a recognition of his potential to lead. His words reminded the world that leadership is not defined by age or experience, but by the courage to take a stand, speak out, and inspire others. In a time when traditional institutions are often questioned, George's speech was a powerful reminder of the enduring relevance of leadership driven by empathy, vision, and purpose. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life, combined with his genuine concern for global issues, signaled a future monarchy that is not just a symbol of tradition, but a force for positive change. A young leader with a global impact. Prince George's address was a pivotal moment that showcased his remarkable potential as a future leader. His emphasis on unity, compassion, and immediate action resonated deeply, inspiring hope and optimism. In a world searching for leadership that bridges divides and fosters understanding, George's speech was a compelling example of how empathy and vision can inspire meaningful change. As the applause subsided and the audience reflected on his words, it became clear that this was not just the debut of a young royal in the public eye. It was the emergence of a leader who has the potential to redefine the future of the monarchy and inspire a generation to lead with heart and purpose.